Well, welcome back to Sports Viewpoints. That is the disclaimer we have to run every week. The opinions expressed by me and by my two new guests here from the movement are not the opinions held by the rich muckety mucks who own this station. And I don't share many opinions with rich muckety mucks as a general rule.
Do you have questions, or are you going to continue to sound stupid?
Well, I get paid to continue to sound stupid, so I'll be glad to do that.
Ask you questions then.
Well, I'll ask you questions. Introduce yourself. I kind of introduced you as a group, but introduce yourself individually.
My name is Talon Williams.
And I'm Chip Hazard.
We are the movement, the greatest tag team on the planet. Get in the ring with us if you don't believe us.
Okay, and very confident in your abilities. And
Well,
so,
you have to be.
Absolutely. You'll be on the show you'll be on the show at DSCW Saturday night in Ellijay, Georgia.
That's right. This Saturday, we'll be going one-on-one against a man who I feel is a big disappointment in Torque. And I've known him for a long time, and a couple of months ago I had to step away because of a knee injury. And I figured he would be the one to step up and revolutionize Deep Southern Championship Wrestling, but he's been a disappointment, and I got to show him you don't become a disappointment. You elevate your game or you get out.
Torque, a hard guy, a hard worker, and very popular with the fans.
Well, you know, Talon, we're brothers, but you kind of missed the toe-to-toe match he had with Jimmy Rave. He stood toe-to-toe with Jimmy Rave, and Jimmy almost didn't walk out of that one.
That's the only thing that's the only thing that worries me.
So
I'm not saying he can't.
got
I'm not saying
fight
he
on
can't
your
wrestle.
hands.
I'm not saying he can't wrestle. I'm not saying that he can't get. I'm not even saying he can't beat me. All I'm saying is that he's a big disappointment, because where he is right now, he should have already been elevated to something a whole lot bigger than what he is. And this Saturday, I'm going to prove if I can't beat him, I'm going to at least make him admit that I'm still the better man that he is.
Check it out. And
I'm just saying, I got all the faith in the world in you, but
Then let's just leave it at that, bro.
I'll tell you,
gotta
same Torque
fight on
wrestling.
your
I'm going to beat Torque the same way you're going to beat Shaggy. And then that following week, that following day, we're going to take care of the Rock and Roll Express, and it's all going to be good.
Hey, I've been in the ring with Shaggy numerous times, and I'm telling you, it's a fight every time.
Mm-hmm.
He might be small in stature, but that country boy can hit hard.
He said the same thing about you on earlier in the show, and should be a great match Saturday night.
Yep, and then Sunday, down here at TWE in Red Bank, come out and watch the movement take on the Rock and Roll Express, 3 p.m.
So yeah, the two of you will be wrestling together, 3 p.m. at TWE.
Yes, sir.
And it's AIWF? Or
It's actually going to be for DSCW as well.
DSCW as well?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
They're doing a special event at the TWE building. The movement, Talon and myself, will be facing the Rock and Roll Express. I know you've got other matches where you'll have Brandon Collins versus Shane Marks, which those two are phenomenal in themselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a match that you don't want to miss.
Aside from that match, Jaden Newman and Jason Collins is going to be another good match that I think is going to really surprise a lot of people.
Put on a show.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm looking forward to Tank and Cyrus teaming up. That's going to be destructive. That's the one time I was like, thank God we're not wrestling those two guys, because those two guys will tear us apart.
And I know, on Saturday night, Chris Kronk, a legend in his own mind, will be at Ellijay.
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite atheist.
Yeah, and so there's especially himself. But that's a whole other story. We got a lot going on. You missed the cat, I guess. Cousin Cletus took it with him, or cousin.
No.
If there was a cat around here and it was dead, and you had Cletus and Shaggy on here earlier, I'm sure they took it home and it's in a stewing pot somewhere already.
It's already being marinated.
Marinator. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how the two of you got into wrestling and what got you lead you into DSCW.
You go first. I ran my mouth enough.
Well, wrestling started out as a dream for both of us. We hooked up with the right people. We got the training we needed, and here we are 12 years later. 4 years ago, Big Wood gave us a call, and as they say, history tells its own tales.
Oh yeah, Big Wood, a great guy in local wrestling. And so you just grew up as a fan, and any
pretty much
relatives wrestle?
Pretty much.
If you're not a fan, if you're in this business and you're not a fan, then my personal opinion, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Who you were a big fan of growing up?
Well, believe it or not, a big fan growing up. I was a fan of Ricky and Robert of the Rock and Roll Express.
I was Ricky and Robert, Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton, Hollywood Blondes.
Yeah.
You can go as far back as the Blackjacks. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of great tag teams that I used to grow. Even into the '90s, like some of the WCW tag teams like Harlem Heat, and when Ming and Barbarian were tagging. You know, Road Warriors. You know, a whole bunch, a lot of great tag teams. You know, what we do is we like to take styles from different tag teams and kind of mold them and mesh them into one hybrid style that a lot of tag teams wouldn't even think about trying. Like some of the moves we do are so innovative and so far beyond their years that, you know, we try to give the fans something a little bit different every single time. So it's not like, oh, it's the movement, we already know what they're going to do. And then when they come see us wrestle, it's like, wow, I've never seen that before. You know, that's what we try to do. We try to become innovators as well as just, you know, phenomenal wrestlers in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think, are we going to get Ricky on the phone now, or are we going to call or from here? We'll try to call. We'll try to check. And,
Can that be any louder, honestly?
It could be any louder. Well, it helps when, oops. Yeah, so.
Bill, do you know how to use that phone?
I don't know how to use the phone. Got the dollar number or something?
We are live, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I know. Take three. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll be back with more sports viewpoints. There's new fangled things called phones in the world, and I'm figuring out how to use them. We'll be back talking about anything you want to in the world of sports. We'll be back with the movement. And right here on Channel 39. See you.